If you want a good time, if you want a good time, let me hear you say, hey, everybody say, hey. If you want a good time, if you want a good time, let me hear you say, hey, everybody say, hey. If you want a good time, if you want a good time, let me hear you say, hey, everybody say, hey. If you want a good time, if you want a good time, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, put your hands up.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. No clue what time you're watching the video. It is the weekend update. Looking forward to the week ending March 15th, which is Quad OPEX week. This is the big daddy of big daddy OPEXs, the first Quad OPEX of the year, every 3 months, 4 times a year. And what I am sharing with you on screen is the tracking of Quad OPEX, like I shared in the video over there on the weekend, or on the email prior to the weekend. Fridays, close red. That's the trend that has been very strong. However, what I'm sharing with you more significantly is these last 3 Quad OPEXs, June, September, and December, and how, other than the Friday, you can't buy a red trading session. And I want you to understand that this is looking back at the prior 3. We're not looking forward to this one that we are in currently starting tomorrow, because we have our trend. I'm going to go here and there, so bear with me a little bit, but I won't take too long of your time. Monday's email that we sent out, we're looking for SPX 51 minus 5100 and QQQ minus 441 the week. Monday's start of the week, because we've had a couple of holidays that were on Mondays this year. Of the 9 weeks that had passed in 2024, 6 of the 9 had closed down on Mondays, the start of the week. The last 5 Mondays, start of the week, have all closed down. This previous Monday makes it 7 out of 10, and the last 6 in a row. Now, we obviously were looking for that minus 5137 close, and we got it. We not only got it, but we got it big. That was the first opportunity of the week, whereas a 400% credit spread on the SPX was available. Messaged very late in the room there on that Monday morning, that 51.49, 51.67. We are still going to wind up closing down, closing red, and we did late into the afternoon in that final hour. And you had a $4 credit on a $1 risk on the 51.40, 51.35s. You had the exact same trade there on Friday, after we had that massive pop to a new all-time high. 51.35, 51.30s, $4 closed. Not only did you close red, but I am wrong. I'll go over the course of the week on how well some of the trade alerts went out, but I am wrong, because we closed the week down 7.3 points on the SPX.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh!
And I mentioned in there that if they're going to close this green or red, like I've mentioned in the prior week where we were teetering, could be either way, that they wouldn't waste a green or red week and close it less than 10 points. Well, they did. They closed it less than 10 points. And very interestingly, bring you on here just to be quick, they took you right to your 5-day moving average right there and said, beep, bounced you right off of it. It's a video game, people. If you spend enough quality time in front of quality screens, you will pick this up so quickly that it will increase your batting average 100 fucking points. It'll increase your batting average 300 fucking points. You will be the first ever 700, 800 batting average player to ever come out there and play. It's simply a video game, and all you got to do is know the intricacies of it. So I bring you back, and real quick recap going over. Again, closed red on the week. Unbelievably, we closed red. Incredible rollover during the course of the day, but nothing to go out there and say, oh, yeah, the Bears are in control. Because like you saw last week with the cover of The Economist that went out last week, how high can the markets go with the big balloons all over it? This week, the cover of Barron's is out. Bet on the bull. So, it's out there, but that's what you usually see when you start hitting a top. So anyway, going over here with Friday. Friday, we closed down. We got a new all-time high, but we closed down. We closed not only down, but we also closed red on the week. So again, with the trend being with Mondays, yes, undoubtedly, 100%, I would be expecting the close on Monday to be below 51.2369, and thus doing the 51.30, 51.25 call spread, collecting was around 250, 280 right at the close on Friday. When futures open up, which will be in about an hour and 15 minutes from when I'm recording this, those of you with Interactive Brokers can go out there and start looking. Look for a 250, look for a $3 credit, let it get filled overnight. The odds are sitting on your side, and we will go over why those odds are sitting on your side in a little bit. So again, with the SPX credit spreads, bang, 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 bang. Go back again onto where we were looking there on Monday. Monday, looking for the red close. Boom. Also looking for that QQQ minus 441. The QQQ 441 puts for Friday, got them at $1.75, $1.50, $5.53 there on Tuesday. Not only that, but on Tuesday, like I said, we were looking for that down week. You had a $3.84 credit, and boom, it finished out that zero. But also, because on Tuesday, we started talking there that we were going to be looking for, where was it? Start of the morning, 8:43 in the morning, 50.80 with 50.50, the 50 retrace going back. 50.57, eyes start opening up. That was at 11:30 when we started to fall off. I'll go on to the SPX chart here in a minute. Actually, we'll go over here right now, 5-minute, 5-day, and here was your Monday high going into that break when we broke below 5,100 here early in the morning on Tuesday, right on down to that 50.57. So again, on that, it was a unfortunate $1 to get in, 2,000% trade, and you come over on to Wednesday. And where are we on Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday, going into J. Powell. J. Powell, the pattern. SPX gets a minus 1% day. The next two sessions are followed with a plus 1% session. We didn't get that on Wednesday. Remember me talking about it on Wednesday, how on Wednesday, where we came up to off of that bounce, we were 3 points shy of filling the gap. We were 2 points shy of getting the plus 1% move. It was fucking dead. Just dead. Close it. Take it off, man. That was 12:30. What wound up happening? We wound up coming right on back down there below 5,100 into the end of the day. Weakness is weakness. It's not weakness. It's exhaustion. Exhaustion is the better word to be used. Not weakness, exhaustion. So there we go, going into Thursday, and Thursday being, where was our alerts on Thursday? Oh, yeah, that was it. Wednesday, yeah, looking for that move, blah, 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 coming down onto the QQQ. Yeah, a fucking stupid, ridiculous move right down to that double bottom. And because we would be looking for that gap to be filled, the 2%, blah, 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 you had your 445 zone. Again, those that wanted to embark on it and look for that exhaustion bounce move, your 445 calls, roughly around $1, 337, call it what you want, 200, 250% as you went into the highs on Friday. Sent you out the alert prior to the end of the week there about, being very well aware of this risk spread, this 51.30 closing there. And again, at that time, $2 is good, $3 is better. You wound up getting a little bit better than $4. So where we wound up with, actually, you guys have the emails. I don't need to go over this shit. Again, it was a good week. Friday was a big reversal day over there on the QQQ. 10-point range. Not the biggest range that we've had, but it was a big range. And you did close the week out red. You had a pretty big red day. And coincidentally, the day prior, March 7th, 666. So anyway, you finished the week down red. You got a red week over on the QQQ. You got a red week on SPY. You got a red week on SPX. So where does that leave us? Where does it leave us, and where does it forecast us for going into OPEX week? Well, here you go. This was our week. And as you can see here, we closed below the open. We closed below that little pop, obviously, because we closed red on the week. And we came right down to the 5-day moving average on Monday, or on Friday. That was it. Right down to the 5-day moving average, and we bounced right off of it and we came back down. Now, blind eye, easy to see here. Very aggressive move to the downside there on Friday. A little bit of a bounce. Boom, boom. Look for the follow through. Undoubtedly, 50, 60, 50, 50. Wide open in play for this week, and I would think it would be tomorrow, being Monday, and I'll tell you why. Here on the VIX, we did fill this gap, so I can remove this right here as we went right to that 1542 and then faded off, closing right at the 200-day moving average. And I have been pretty boisterous about how this VIX has been climbing for the better part of 90 days, even though the market has as well, and everything is starting to set up for this big quad OPEX week. You also had the new moon happening yesterday, over the weekend. Looking at that 51.89 over on the SPX, it fits. So you did not crush the VIX on Friday. Instead, you wound up closing at your 200-day moving average and hitting up at that 1542. So again, pressure is building for not only the VIX to be moving upward as its expiration is on March the 20th, but now we are entering into a 10-day window where it's up to the bears. And it's not so much that it's up to the bears, it's up to the sellers, like what you saw there on NVIDIA there on Friday. Looking here on SPY at a wider view, okay, looking at a 30-day view, coming down here to where our big bottom is, the end of January. You've got a gap to be filled from the NVIDIA earnings right over here, right around 501, 502, down in there to that 495 area, 496. And you have two gaps that are protecting you from that. So again, because we got a dip on Friday, we did no damage whatsoever. Until we break below this 505 area right here, which is the 50-50 over on the SPX. Here you go. Until we break down below that 50-50 area on the SPX, over there on SPY at 505, we have accomplished nothing at all. Zero. All we've done is get another very tradable dip. QQQ, exact same story. Big drop on QQQ, but no damage having taken place. The damage to occur on the QQQ would start on a break down below this 433 into that NVIDIA gap, filling that NVIDIA gap below 426, and then starting to pressure that big 416. While we're up here, all we did was dip. That's it. Bring you over onto NVIDIA. I found a video of the guy that bought NVIDIA at 974. And yeah, everybody has tried to check in on him over the weekend, and nobody can contact him. NVIDIA, 1 day move, two gaps filled. Remove that one and remove that one. Gaps filled, minus 10% correction in a day. Wider view, okay, here's your wider view. And this is a little bit too detailed for a lot of people, so let me just kind of zoom that out. The 2024 open being here at 492.66. NVIDIA minus 50% would still be just down 1% on the year. A lot of gaps to be filled. Come on, a clean view. Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Yep, that is it. Coincidentally, NVIDIA 974 is exactly plus 800% from the 2022 lows. I don't care how you look at this. I really, really don't. The only thing I can see here on NVIDIA is this being an A, B, C move. That's all I can see. Come over there. That's all I can see. I can't see it any other way. Come out here and look at it from a wider view. And again, having that blowout, which started here right at the beginning of the year, and this incredibly massive consistent streaks of green weeks, I don't see it any other way. And with NVIDIA not having shit to do with AI, except producing the chips for these fucking... AI is data. It's data. The guys that are going to be the winners are the ones who hold all the data. Microsoft, Amazon, Apple. This AI is fluff when it comes to NVIDIA. It's complete garbage. So anyway, you come on to a shorter view, and let me go back onto NVIDIA, and we will go into where the extended periods are, because again, NVIDIA, you're down here even lower after hours on Friday, down into the 850s. You've got your other gap over here from last week because of that massive, incredibly large 4-cent dividend that was given during the course of this week. Your earnings gap is down here just below 680, which is just below a minus 30% correction. And as you can see, that 769 area. NVIDIA continues, okay? NVIDIA continues this momentum, which I expect to follow through on Monday. You're not only getting your red close on the SPX, but you are going to start pressuring the QQQ for that 433, which will again start pressuring for that move down to that 425. NVIDIA earnings gap being down here, 650. Quad OPEX this week, big week. Apple, a lot of gaps to be filled to the upside, but Apple is in big, big trouble. Show you here on a 90-day. This Apple move coming off the highs from back there in December, this is in trouble. You're definitely in trouble over here on Apple. And then you zoom it out a little bit more, and you can see how you are really pressing down hard on that October low. Really start to press down hard on it. And you zoom yourself out a little bit more, and you can see there, you lose that 165, 166 area. You've got nothing left until you get down to 145. So you're in trouble over here on Apple. And I would very, very strongly heed caution about trying to buy the dip on Apple. Google, again, in trouble, down on the year, down 2024. Not as bad as Apple, but you are definitely starting to put some pressure over here on that 129 area. They just shouldn't have released their deletion of white people so early. They should have waited until closer to the elections. On Google, I don't see a trade to be done on Google as much as an impact. But yeah, this 129, 128 area, you're going to be looking at that 120, 118 area that we were trading a long time ago. So again, be very, very careful with how bullish you want to be with these bigger names. AMD, again, same thing. Had a minus 10% correction after that incredibly large, quick run to a new all-time high at the beginning of the day there on Friday. The pressure's down here on 164. That's just the way that it is. You trolled here at 164 for the better part of 3 weeks, 2 months, and then you just got this out of nowhere PCE, NVIDIA dividend fucking pop. It's fluff. So you're looking down here at around 185, 165 for a drop zone on AMD during the course of the week. Leave you off with, that's pretty much all that I've got to cover. It's not that I'm not looking to go over every single thing that's out there, but in a general tone of everything, with the dollar being oversold, the 10-year being oversold, the Nikkei starting to retrace because they are going to be raising rates for the first time in decades, gold at all-time highs, Bitcoin, congratulations if you sold at 70,000 because you are making a wise decision. But you come back on here, and where it all leads to is both. You've got your new moon, March 10th, and you've got your full moon coming here March 25, and it's a worm moon. Don't know what it means, but I'll do some research. You've got your VIX expirations on March the 20th. We are going into quad OPEX now, and we come in here, come on, man. We come in here on March 12th, which is Tuesday, with CPI. CPI is on Tuesday. Fed's Mester even said last week she is looking to raise rates after what happened there in January. The January report, you've had 2 back-to-back reports where CPI is going up higher than what it was forecast. You're in trouble, guys, and this is the week for it all to show up. So for those that are in, congratulations. For those that are holding, congratulations. Those SPY 513 puts from Friday, they dropped a little bit. I got 227. Might not have timed it perfectly, but everybody out there got better than their 30%. And again, going back onto SPY, looking at it from its view of what it is, the pressure on that 505, 513 minus 505 is 8. So those 513 puts have the potential to be $8 or better during the course of this week. These 2 gaps to get filled, and that pressure on that 508, we're undoubtedly going to be looking down at this 500 level. So we'll see what we get here with our typical Red Monday. We'll see what we get as well with our CPI report on Tuesday, and then we'll start to go make adjustments as the week progresses. So have an amazing Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your sleep. Futures are going to open up here in about an hour, so I'm going to have a cup of coffee, go water my tomatoes, and come back and see what we got going on. So have a good one, and I'll catch you in the chat.